There are always many concerns when it comes to mobile technology in schools, whether it's student-owned devices or investments in one-to-one programs, whether that be Chromebooks, laptops, tablets, MacBooks, whatever. And when we think about succeeding with mobile devices, it really comes down to two driving questions. As students are using their technology, how will they use it to demonstrate thinking, and how will they apply their thinking? But there are 7 elements to consider, whether you're grappling with managing the devices that your school has purchased, or whether your school or district has a bring your own device or bring your own technology initiative. So let's go through these 7 elements to ensure success. Number 1 is infrastructure. There's nothing more frustrating to teachers or kids when there's an expectation to use devices or technology in general and the Wi-Fi does not work or the Wi-Fi is slow. Infrastructure is so important. We need to make sure there's appropriate bandwidth to sustain the type of activities that we want. Number 2, a shared vision. If we want mobile learning to work, whether it's one-to-one or bring your own device, there has to be a shared visioning process where teachers, administrators, students, and parents are all collaborating to come to consensus as to what will those expectations be. Because ultimately, we need the embracement from our teachers and our students to create a culture where devices will be used and implemented effectively. Number 3, there has to be planning in advance, a strategic plan that really focuses on, why do we want our kids to use devices? How will we implement them successfully? And what criteria will we use to determine on how we can improve or success? The planning process has to focus squarely on learning. Technology will not improve every lesson. It will not improve every outcome. And I, for one, don't want my own 2 children using technology 24/7. So that plan has to provide the needed visioning, support, and measures to ensure that the mobile learning initiative is successful. Number 4, we think we have to create new policies, but that's not true. We can align current policies that are already on the books. There's acceptable use, there's anti-bullying policies, so instead of just coming up with a whole new thing, so much time to create new policy, let's just align the ones we already have. Number 5 is probably the most important and critical to success, whether it's one-to-one or bring your own device, and that is professional learning. I prefer the term professional learning over development because we all know how we feel when we get developed. Professional learning for both teachers and administrators. That learning should happen well before going mobile. Thinking about training your teachers a year before going one-to-one or bring your own device. Same thing with the administrators. Teachers need to have the support and confidence in order to effectively have this pedagogical toolbox in order to integrate technology in a purposeful fashion. But conversely, administrators also have to have that professional learning support so that they can provide good feedback to teachers, so that they can, help them grow and improve. Professional learning going forward should be job embedded and ongoing. Research has shown that gets the most benefit. Number 6, student and parent programs. I worked with my students in 6th grade before they got to the high school. If you were a kid in my class, you might have heard my spiel 7 different times. Professional learning for kids is vital to ensure that they use technology appropriately. Kids know how to use tech for the most part. They don't necessarily know how to use technology to support high-level learning. Work with your kids. Go over expectations and reinforce those expectations. Talk about citizenship, responsibility, but then talk about how we're going to empower them with devices when appropriate. Also, bring parents in, do parent programs, have them go through the same blended learning tasks, personalized activities that our kids are going to go through. Show them that when using devices, it's still supporting high-level thinking and application. And finally, number 7, budget allocations. If you're one-to-one, you got to make sure you sustain that program, so the budget has to be aligned appropriately. If you bring your own device, equity is so important. You got to ensure that you're going to provide for the have-nots. So think about investing in devices that you sign out to your economically disadvantaged kids. Think about how you'll improve access with by installing wireless routers on the outside of your buildings. Also, think about opening up your buildings earlier and leaving them open later. Those are just a few ideas and tips to ensure success with mobile devices. If you found success in your neck of the woods, please feel free to share. Thanks, everybody.